BT12 testing continues on my end, and honestly there are a wide variety of decks to play in this era. And the Emperor's New Groove 2 is the sequel to Red Hybrid. This deck has a variety of plays, and while you can build linearly, this deck can be built wide in preparation for a big push to end the game. As always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. This deck runs 4 level 2s, 16 level 3s, 12 level 4s, 5 level 5s, 5 level 6s, 0 level 7s, 4 option cards, and 8 Tamers. For level 2s, this deck runs purely Yokomon. Considering you have many ways to find your Tamers, a power move on your first turn is to Digivolve into a rookie, and hopefully if you have one, slam Takuya Kimbara down on the battlefield. Doing so prepares your Yokomon for card draws, so now when your Digimon gets deleted, you'll get that extra card. There are a wide variety of substitutes you could be using, considering Greymon procs with almost every possible option as well. But in the end, you're not building linearly as you attempt to get your Takuyas out in preparation for Hybrid for game. Level 3 wise, you run a lot of Flamemons. 4 of the new BT12 variants, which are basically Dorumons from BT9, except instead of X-Antibody Digimon being pitched, you toss a Hybrid instead. Note that this card has some flexibility in other decks, considering it doesn't specify color. 4 BT4 Flamemons for the general search of Hybrid and Red Tamers, 2 BT6 for piercing, and 4 BT7 for search and inheritable on deletion to play Takuya. Currently the last of my level 3s are 2 Bokomon, but honestly I'm not seeing the need for them considering they're also big targets against raid decks. Substitution wise, you could utilize more piercers, but you rarely build into the big stack like you did with Ancient Greymon. But for level 4s, a significant number of them has changed. No longer are you running Promo Agunimon, or for that matter, BT4 Agunimon. Now you're running the BT12 hybrids in addition to your BT7 Burning Greymon. For a refresher, the BT7 Burning Greymon can delete a Digimon with 4000 DP or less if you have a hybrid in the source or Takuya Kimbara. Which means even from a Flamemon it's very easy to still get that effect, even if you're paying an extra memory. But the new hybrids allow for the first time Slide Evolution. Burning Greymon can Digivolve for 1 from Agunimon, and Agunimon can Digivolve for 1 from a Burning Greymon. Effect-wise, Burning Greymon provides you those extra DP buffs you need sometimes, while Agunimon has 2 on-deletion effects. The first its own passive on-deletion effect that lets you play a Flamemon suspended without paying its memory cost. Meaning if your Agunimon gets deleted in battle, a Flamemon could come down for more searching. But if you want to utilize that inheritable, you'll be able to play a Takuya Kimbara for free. I have not tested the Ancient variant yet, but believe me, the meta shifts significantly to Digimon that have more DP. You might think Ancient Greymon might get through everything, but I've had War Greymons hit 18,000 or even 19,000 on my opponent's turn. But for level 5s, you're running 1 copy of the new Aldamon and 4 copies of the old one. Why? Inheritable option card negation, baby. So good, so strong. The new Aldamon can be Digivolved into by playing 1 Agunimon and Burning Greymon from your trash underneath one of your Takuyas. Also on deletion, you get to return 1 Takuya Kimbara from trash to hand. Meaning in a sequence of effects, you could use this on deletion effect first, then use your Flamemon's on deletion effect to play Takuya. There are many ways to utilize your on deletion effects that you'll almost always have a Takuya out and ready to go. Level 6 wise, this runs 3 of the new Emperorgreymon. While this card can be used as an aggressive way to attack your opponent's security, it's also a defensive measure to delete your opponent's Digimon. If playing slow enough, Quartzmon can suspend all of your Tamers, meaning this is one of few outs you have to get rid of your opponent's Digimon. The even better bonus is you get to play Takuya from your hand or trash when this Digimon is deleted. But BT7 will remain one of my favorites for its ability to blitz. What are blocker these days? This deck doesn't run any level 7s, primarily because when it comes to using Blitz Omnimon, you will bottom deck it a lot of time. Because of that, rather than depend on Blitz Omnimon, I'm going with the aggressive route with an option card I thought I'd never play. But honestly, if you're wanting to run Blitz Omnimon as a one-of, go for it. because meta lists in Japan also use this sometimes. But for my variant of the build, I've repeatedly bashed on this option card, and now, here I am using it. Gravity Crush. This option card has a 0 cost associated with it, and no security effect. When you play this card, you gain 2 memory, but on your opponent's turn, you lose 2 memory. So if you pass them to 1 memory to end your turn, Gravity Crush comes into play first and then sets them to 3. So if your opponent has a memory setter, they don't go to 3 first, as you have to resolve your end of turn effects. However, if you were to pass the turn and give them 3, that's your end of turn right there, meaning your opponent would go to 5. The advantage here is that there are a lot of memory fixers going to see play in the upcoming format, and considering BT12 brings a few new ones, Gravity Crush gets a pass. The only other option card I run here is Atomic Inferno, an option card that gives my hybrid Digimon plus 3000 DP and security attack plus 1. Not to mention if it's blocked, I'll gain 3 memory. But in security, it in essence gives all of my Digimon plus 1 security for the turn, meaning hybrids you evo into will also get a plus 1 check. You could utilize red memory boost as well, but sometimes that delay is too slow. But the last 8 cards this deck runs are the 4 copies of Takuya Kimbara from BT7, and the newest one from BT12. BT12 is a memory setter, and even better, this Takuya gives you an inheritable that gains you 2 memory when you check your security, giving you more opportunities to evo into more hybrids or just set up your next turn. The memory setter is very important, because before, you were getting choked at 1 or 2 memory, which really slowed down your plays, but now it's even more viable. But OG Takuya gives you that ability to warp into Emperorgreymon, and if you happen to place all the right components and have a bunch of Takuyas in hand, you could have a major push next turn. In terms of strengths and weaknesses, the strength of this deck is now you have more flexibility with your plays, and you've got 8 Takato options now instead of 4. Speed-wise, you don't hide in the rays like Wargreymon or Jesmon decks for the perfect stack with protection. Instead, in some ways, you're playing Flamons to find your combo pieces, your hybrids and tamers, recycle, and continue smashing into security one at a time. In general, you go for more chip damage until you can game with hybrids. However, Quartz Spawn is one of the biggest deterrents for the upcoming format if you're playing hybrid. This Digimon can suspend all of your tamers, which can be brutal. But your main security bomb is Emperorgreymon going off of a tamer. Could you run other options? Absolutely. But I'm going for an aggro strategy instead of the 1-up or maybe this will get hit in security. Combo-wise, your best power play is to Digivolve in any Flamon, then play a tamer. On average, you're setting your opponent to 2 or 3 memory. However, when slide evoing between a Goonimon and Burning Greymon, there are ways to get that memory choke to 1. As you attack, you can get more Takuyas out by effects, or even just playing them. In general, what are your thoughts on the Emperor's new Group 2? The sequel of Red Hybrid has been very nice with added consistency, but at this point I'm honestly more curious what will happen to the other Frontier children. Could this be the next What If miniseries? Let me know your thoughts as always. Thank you so much for your continued support. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.